some really unfortunate news for Houston Rockets small forward Sterling Brown, who, by the way, if you recall that name, I believe we talked about him very, very early in the channel. I'll have to look into it, but I do recall talking about this guy. He suffered facial lacerations in an attack on Sunday. Now the NBA and the Rockets don't exactly know what's going on, so we don't have a lot of details on this exact assault. We just know that he was assaulted, and that he will make a full recovery, which is great news on that. So when there is an update on what really happened with Sterling Brown and whoever attacked him, we will let you guys know. But I do have a quote from Steven Silas on this. He says, and I quote, "Heart-wrenching, rips your heart out. It's one of your guys, someone on your team that you care about, someone that you're with every day. As far as how I'm feeling about how the team is feeling, we're all just thankful, number one, that he's going to be okay, and also down about what happened." Sterling Brown's in his first season with the Rockets. He's averaging 8.2 points, 4.4 rebounds in 51 games. And in case if you guys do recall this guy, if you've been watching ever since the beginning, if I do recall talking about this guy, he said that he was racially profiled by cops in Milwaukee back in 2018. So in case if you remember that, that's what that was about. Before I continue, because this really irks me, Mario. The source for this was ESPN. So let me go first, okay? Because again, there's not a lot of details, so there's really not a lot I can say about the situation. First of all, I'm glad he's gonna make a full recovery, and I hope he heals up quick. Second of all, I really want to know what happens. Because anything could have happened. He could have started a fight and he could have gotten injured in there. Someone else could have started a fight involving him, or some fight could have broken out and he just so happened to have gotten caught in the middle of it. I don't know. I can't tell you because we don't know what happened. There's no details on it. Next to none. So personally, that's the first thing I want. Second of all, I'm going to look at those, obviously I'm going to use those three examples because again, so many things could have happened, but we just don't know which one is true. I'm going to start with him starting a fight. Obviously, you know better than that. You're an NBA player. You can't be doing that. If someone wanted to fight him for whatever stupid reason, again, shame on them. Shouldn't be fighting in public. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to repeat myself. But let me get to the last part, and that's the one that most likely doesn't happen, but can happen. Is that two people get into a fight and someone just so happens to get caught up in the mix with all the violence. You know what I mean? That's the one that worries me a lot. Because if you want to have a fight with somebody, fine. Go deal with that. But if someone gets in the middle of that, he could have probably been like breaking up the fight. He just so happened to have gotten clipped in the face or something like that. I can't tell you again because there's no info on this. That's why I'm making up these examples. Because anything could have happened. He could have broken up the fight. He could have been sitting somewhere and some two people decided to go A-ham on each other like they're in a freaking boxing ring or a UFC cage. And then all of a sudden they just accidentally hit him because they meant to hit the other guy. A lot of things could have happened. And I can't tell you exactly what happened. This is just me speculating. But look, whatever happened, I really want to know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, whether Sterling Brown was in the wrong or not, I do wish him a full recovery because you don't like to see people getting hurt. It's just not a thing. So with that being said, before I pass on to you, Mario, again, I just wish Sterling Brown a speedy recovery, and I really want to know what's going on here because there's little to no information about how he even got facial lacerations to begin with.
Right. Before I started it, I did look it up on I got the YouTube Studio app, which shows our videos, and we never talked about him. And the last incident with him happened in 2018, which was way before we ended up making this channel.
Oh, okay.
But going to the actual situation, first of all, again, I do wish Sterling Brown a full recovery, which according to the article it says he will be making. Look, man, the past 3 years, Sterling Brown has been in some bad luck regarding violence. Again, 2018, he was racially profiled by a cop. He says it was because he was black, and then his hands were in his pocket, and because he didn't take them out of his pocket immediately, the cops ended up stunning him and stepping on his ankle. So that's obviously something that he's had to deal with as well. I do feel bad though. I really do. Now again, like you said, we don't know what could have happened. Again, he could have started a fight. Some other guy could have started a fight. Guys could have mistaken him for somebody else, and whatever would have happened. And again, whatever happened that day happened, and it's very unfortunate too. He's with the team right now. He's out with a knee injury. But I mean, yeah, you never want to really see this happen to a player. You never want to. It's very unfortunate. It really is. And again, like, there's always going to be violence in this world. And unfortunately, there's always going to be violence in this world. And I wish there wasn't, but there always is. You can't stop it. But the best thing to do in order to prevent it from happening is to think about any possible way to prevent yourself from causing violence. If that makes any sense. There are going to be times where people fight and they just can't control it. You know what I'm saying? It's a situation where that's the only thing there is left to do. I understand it. But if you could think of any other way to avoid it, then please do that. And again, it really is unfortunate that he got assaulted. He got assaulted. It really is. And when we have more information, we will definitely give an update. Because right now, we just don't have a full story for me to even say enough. I can't. But let us, okay, people, but seriously, stop the violence, okay? If there's a chance that you can talk to this person, you can talk to these people, man to man, woman to woman, man to woman, whatever it might be, do that. Talk out your situations, okay? Like throughout the whole history of time, like the most stuff has been accomplished by being peaceful. Think about Martin Luther King. Like, you know what I'm saying? The most peaceful, the most influential civil rights activist to ever live. Never laid a hand on anybody. He ended up getting beaten up a lot for what he stood for. He took it and he was able to make change. Look at Jackie Robinson, first black baseball player to break the color barrier in the MLB. Would get beat up by a lot of opposition baseball players. He took it, smiled, did his job. And because of that, now there are black baseball players in the MLB. The most influential people never solved their problems with violence. Even Muhammad Ali, who was in a violent sport, never chose violence. He never did. That's why he refused to join Vietnam back when there was a draft. And because of his choice, now people don't have to go to war. Now it's a choice. So let those 3 examples be proof of you don't need to use violence to solve your problems. There will be times where, like, I understand where, like, that's the only case. You get what I'm saying? I understand. If somebody swings at you, like, obviously, not many people can, like, what do you call it? Not many people are going to want to take a beating, They're going to try to fight back. I understand it. But in cases like these, violence does not solve your answers. Okay? Whether it was Sterling Brown being assaulted, where he started the fight, we don't know. When the update comes again, we will give out an update and we'll let you know. But right now, there's not enough for me to talk about with this. So the only thing I can say is, again, I'm glad that Sterling Brown has made a full recovery. Or if he hasn't and he's getting to that process of making a full recovery, I do wish him the best of luck, and the same thing in his NBA career. And again, stop the violence, people.
Yeah, right. Like, I was just about to say that too. You know what I mean? Like, stop the violence, all right? That's not how we're gonna get things done, I get, again, like I said a couple of videos ago, I get it's 420 and you guys want to smoke some weed. Fine, go smoke some weed, and I'm not in the position to, tell you what you can and what you can't do with your life. But don't be going out there doing stuff like this. And the reason why I say that is because, one, it's 420. Obviously, I gotta tell you guys, be careful if you're gonna smoke some weed. Because, I'm not in the position to tell you what you can and what you can't do. But mostly intoxicated people do get caught up in this kind of stuff. So if you're gonna be intoxicated, just be careful of what you do, please. I just don't want to have to see somebody on the news because they wanted to go out and have a little bit of fun. And yeah, that ends up happening. Basically, what I'm trying to say is make the right decisions and stop the damn violence, please.